Hello friend Aries, and welcome to this little corner of the internet that is Wild Fox Alchemy. If we haven't met before, my name is Gaian and I am an intuitive business success coach and tarot card reader amongst other things, and I'm here to do your weekly business and finance reading for October the 18th to the 24th. Are you getting a bit excited for Halloween? My kids are. Oh, they're making things, they're having a great time. Let's see what we've got in store. Oh, we've got Vulture Spirit there. Vulture Spirit. Nothing is wasted. Vultures, quite often looked at with revulsion. But they have such an important job to do in cleaning up things. The bodies of animals that have passed away. They clean it all up. Keep everything nice and tidy. Avoid the spread of disease from rotting flesh. It is pretty revolting when you think about it. But it is an important job. What I'm being told here about nothing is wasted is this. You may be thinking of starting a business. You may have started a business. It may be something that you have never done before. And you may be thinking to yourself, I'm making this massive change here into doing something different that I've not done before. Everything that I've done to this point has been a waste of time. Spirit is saying nothing is wasted, okay? And I'm going to illustrate this with my own experiences. I started out years ago, I did data entry, paying chemists in the UK. I moved from that into nursing, and I was a nurse for quite a long time. I worked with newborn babies for a long time in a maternity unit, and I loved it. And then I had 4 kids of my own, and I worked part-time for a while, and then I decided that I wanted a little bit more for myself, so I trained as a lawyer. I passed exams and I did really, really well. I climbed the ranks really, really quickly. It was something that I had quite an affinity with. So I was a property lawyer for some time. And then it was discovered that my son has autism. And as a way of trying to help my son, who was struggling with a great many issues, I got into something called equine facilitated learning, and I work with kids with special needs to help them build self-esteem and confidence. And then I realised that my business had some massive, huge flaws. In the UK, it was extremely expensive to run a horse facility. It also is very weather dependent. So on days when it was pouring with rain or had heavy snow, I couldn't get people in. I wanted to do residential camps in the summer, but if you know the UK, you will know the UK doesn't really have a summer. And lots of times things got cancelled or people would pull out and they didn't want to do the camps. I had to stop doing it. My business collapsed. It was an epic failure. And then I had time to consider where I wanted to go next and what I wanted to do next. And I was asked by a coach to look at all the business experience or work experience that I had, to help me to try to decide what kind of business I wanted to run. And when I did that, it was just ridiculous, because I had this endless list of all the things over the years that I've done. All the different paths that I've tried. I've done everything from starting an organic plant nursery, to dog walking, to the law stuff, to the caring professions, lots of different things that I've done. It became impossible for me to kind of pick out where I would go from there, which thing I could pick up and run and create a business out of. And in the end, I ended up retraining as a therapist, which sounds just ridiculous, doesn't it? It's like all these different things. But what I'd actually really enjoyed was the work with the horses. I'd loved it with a passion, absolutely loved it. But I realised that I had to have more strings to my bow to make it work. And I took a lot of time out, I have to say, to train as a therapist, to be able to give clients a better experience, to still be able to work with the horses in coaching, but to not have to rely on them. So if the weather was bad, we could do indoor work and I could still help clients build self-esteem and confidence in a different sort of way. I got heavily into ecotherapy. Now I have an organic herb nursery here, and we grow herbs for magical spells and for herbal remedies and all sorts of things. I am a Gemini, by the way, in case you hadn't noticed. I love learning, I love new things, I love helping people. So all these things all my life, I've gathered all this information, I've gathered all these certificates and learning, and all this stuff together. I'm 50 years old now, and I've pulled it all together finally into one business, which is insane. But anyway, the moral of the story is, which has been a very long story, but the moral of the story is that nothing that I have ever done has been wasted. Quite often I will come across things in my business where I think I'm really glad that I did law, because I can now write contracts without any problems. I'm really glad that I did nursing and that sort of caring profession, because it helps me understand any sort of medical problems. I love the fact that I do coaching and that I've worked with these horses, because I bring all that into the work that I do now. None of it has ever been wasted. None of it. So what the Spirit is trying to say is, don't look at whatever you've done up to this point as being a waste, because you'd be surprised what you can draw on, what experiences you can draw on to move you forward, Aries, okay? So let's have a look. Where do you need to focus your energy this month, Aries? On the 8 of Acorns, energy and results. This is about you focusing this month about moving forwards and letting go of anything that doesn't serve. So I get the feeling from this reading so far that there's this tendency to think that there's a lot of stuff that you've done that you feel like has been a waste of time. That you've been left thinking, why did I even bother? You know, all this time I've spent doing these things and it means nothing now because I've moved on to something different. This card is just a reminder to move on. Move on, let it go, don't worry about it. Don't try to include it necessarily in your new project, especially if it feels clunky to do so. Just think about it as experience that will come into play at some point down the line, I guarantee it. It always does. Your strength, the 9 of Shells, gratitude and fulfillment. This is the wish card. Yay! This is you feeling happy. You're attaining your emotional goals. You're finding happiness this week. I feel like whatever it is that you were doing, that you are a little bit bitter about because you think it was a waste, it doesn't matter, because whatever it is you're moving forward to is going to bring you happiness. Okay, Aries, there's satisfaction, there's contentment here, there's happiness here. It's the wish card. Whatever it is that you're wishing for will be granted to you. You are almost there. You're almost where you need to be. Focus your attention on gratitude. Be grateful for everything that you've done, even though you might be thinking it's a waste now. I promise you it won't be. You'll call on it later, because nothing ever happens that is not for a reason or that is not useful later on. So be grateful for everything. Have the gratitude and say to yourself, I'm so grateful that I had that job that, you know, was boring and didn't stimulate me for all those years, but I'm thankful and I'm going to let it go now. All right. We then get to possible obstacles, the 3 of Crystals, collaboration and productivity. Okay, this is about planning and growth and skills and learning. And I'm wondering if this blockage in the productivity is because of you looking back and thinking, why have I wasted all this time? It's left you feeling a little bit deflated, perhaps. It could also be that you need some assistance to get whatever it is that you're doing forward and to move it forward. And you need to do some planning to get to where you're going. Don't block other people's help, because collaboration could be the key to moving you forward this week. And what I want to say here is that this card is also about growth, skills and learning. And I don't want you to be put off by doing more learning or some self-improvement, personal development in some way, because I get the feeling that it's possible you've done a course, or like I said, you know, there's something in your past where you're thinking to yourself that you feel like you wasted your time, that it wasn't good enough, that it wasn't right. And again, I have an experience with this in the fact that I did a therapy course that I thought was wonderful. You know, I talk about this a lot because the therapy itself helped me get over depression and anxiety and have the confidence to move forward to start these businesses. But I decided to train in it, and when I trained in it, the training was full of holes. The training wasn't really, it hadn't been thought out properly before it was started. They changed the rules on everything all the time. So I felt a bit of regret about doing it, and I felt like I'd wasted my time doing this particular course, and certainly wasted money. I spent a lot of money on the program. So it kind of made me think every time I saw the opportunity to do something else, to learn something else, I kept thinking, well, what if I waste my time like I wasted my time on that? Spirit is saying, don't let it put you off. Don't let past experiences put you off. Move forward. Make sure that you are open to collaboration. Be open to growth and learning. And the outcome is the Six of Crystals, synergy and gratitude. There's a lot of gratitude here in this reading, Aries. A lot of abundance, a lot of accomplishment, a lot of things. I feel like a lot of things are coming together for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of clarification on this Three of Crystals for you, just to see if I can get a little bit clearer message on that one. How weird. I've got the Eight of Wands, which is a repeat. Move forwards and let it go. You're blocking this because of what you're clinging to. And again, I feel like this is just reinforcing what I've just said, that you're worried about wasting things, you're worried about wasting time, you're worried about wasting money, you're worried about, what if I learn all this and there's no point to it. I can't do what I want to do and it's just no point to it. Spirit is saying to you, it's time to let go of those sorts of feelings, to move forwards, to put your energy into stuff, because the energy you put in will affect the results you get. And I know that you might feel like you've wasted time or money or energy or whatever, but you have to just let that feeling go and move forward. Clean slate is what Spirit's just said, clean slate. But I do feel that there are some other people around you that may help. There could be some other people coming in this week that may help you to move forward. And as I said, you know, just remember, nothing is ever wasted, Aries. That whatever knowledge, whatever experience it is you have, you might not feel it right now. You may not feel the benefits of it right now, but it will be useful at some point, I promise you. I promise you. Even if it's just a reminder of what used to be and it's motivation for change. If you've had a really boring job for 20 years and you're thinking, why the hell didn't I just have the guts to give it up and start a business sooner? Then, you know, just use that experience as I'm never going back to that. So when you wake up in the morning and you have a rough day in your business and you're thinking, oh, business is just a right old pain at the moment, even remembering that for 20 years I did this job that was just soul destroying and I wished I got out of it sooner, it can be the motivation for you to move forwards. So I hope this resonated with you, Aries. If it did, please do like and subscribe. I'll see you next time with love and magic always. This is Maria Gaian signing out.